And hello from Lights and Gear. Today we have another product review, and today is a new battery charger from these folks, which I'm going to call Golisi, since this seems to me to be the English pronunciation of this name. The S4 Smart Charger is what we're talking about, and from the picture on the box here, it almost looks like the real thing. Now, many battery chargers today do have a lot of similarities, and this one looks like a lot of others. And when it comes down to it, how much different can you actually make a battery charger look as far as its appearance and its functions? So anyway, this one says it has an extremely visible and intuitive readout. You can sort of flip over the box here and get bits of information on it on the back, as far as the many different types of batteries, of course, that it will charge, its general operating temperature, and a little bit about the kind of charge that it will give the average battery. So opening up the box here will, of course, reveal its contents. And I did take the power cord out of the box, and it happens to be right here. So it does come with this standard power cord. However, you can also use a different type of, or one of the standard other AC jacks that I'll get to in a moment. So this is the cord that it does come with. Anyway, here's the charger. And as you can imagine, you get an instruction manual here. Standard size charger. Pretty much looks like a lot of others, as I said before. And on the back, it does give you the pertinent information here, again, regarding the input, which is 12 volts, 1 amp, and your output here as far as the type of charge it'll give your batteries. And again, most of these chargers do pretty much all types of rechargeable batteries. So as I go over here to the manual, just to make it more official, it does offer 2A charging, and that's if you're only using one, if you're only charging one battery at a time. So let's get to that over here in the manual. So, as is described in the specifications, if you're using one battery, you'll get 2,000 mAh. If you're using two batteries, it'll charge at 1,000. So 2,000 with one battery and 1,000 with two batteries. If you use 3 or 4 batteries, or up to 4 batteries, yeah, like 3 and 4, it'll charge at 500 mAh. And with NIMH, it'll charge every single battery, whether it's 1 up to 4, at the same current at 500 mAh. It does offer short circuit protection, overcurrent protection, reverse connection protection, and has the case is fireproof. So that's basically it, and we'll go through the motions of what it does here right now. So, as I was talking about before, you can either use the power cord that they send you, and as you can see here on the end, it does give you a couple of options. None of them are actually explained on here. There's no indicator here to tell you what's what, but obviously you can see this is the cord that they give you, or you can use another standard type of 12-volt power adapter, which is usually looks like this at the end, which is one of these jacks, and that fits perfectly in that slot. I do prefer to use one of these, so there you go, there's your display. And if you turn it, if you angle it a little bit like this, you can see the whole display. It's one of these LCD type displays that kind of reveals itself under different angles. So put a battery in, and actually I also got with this package, not that you will, but I was sent some Golisi batteries as well. And these are their IMR 18650 here. They are IMR batteries, so they aren't protected, but it says 3,000 mAh on them. And I suppose they're not too bad, but I didn't quite get 3,000 on them. I got somewhere in the range of about 26, 27. But be that as it may, I mean, they're not bad batteries, and they are IMR. So they're going to be shorter than the average type of protected battery, of course. But so as soon as you put a battery in the slot, you'll get a predictable result. So right now, this battery isn't completely dead. It's telling me it's at 53% charge already, and at 3.83 volts. And this right here, at this particular time, is charging at 1A. Now, if I took this out and put it over in this slot, I now get 2A. So now it says it's going to charge this 18650 at 2A. Whether or not that's recommended or not, I suppose for an IMR it's okay. But anyway, 66% on this side and 3.96 volts. Now on the side here is a toggle switch. Now for some unknown reason there are two of them, and they both do the same thing. I don't know why there are two. But by clicking, and as you can see, the display goes out too after this. The display does not stay on very long. The display dumps out pretty fast. But in actuality, if you look at it, and maybe you can see this, you can actually even see it faintly, very faintly, even though the display is gone. You can see it right here. It says 66. So anyway, it has two switches here, two display switches. By clicking the display, and then by clicking it again, you'll get some of the other pertinent information, such as how much, here's your counter of your MAH going in the battery at that time, then it flips back. If I press it again, it'll go back to that. If I press it again, it'll show how, it'll show your timer, so how long it's been charging. So those are your options there by clicking the display button. And again, if I go to the other display button, it does the exact same thing. So I'm not sure why they have two of them. But anyway, so here's 2 amp with this battery at the moment. And if I take a different battery, let's take a big one, let's take a 26650. And this one's at 35%. And as soon as I did that, this one clocked down to 1. So there you go with your 2 batteries at 1 amp. So here's 1 and here's 1 over here. And obviously both showing their current status. And again, if I click the button, it'll then toggle between the 2 batteries at what their present charging state is. And as you can see, that display does not stay on long. Let's take a different battery. Let's take a 18350. And as you can see, even though this when I first got this, I wasn't sure how it would accommodate the 26650, because in actuality these bays aren't terribly deep. So I was a little concerned at that at first. But as you can see, with the 26650, it does very well. I have a couple of other chargers that don't actually activate 26650s right away. They have to be fiddled around with in the bay before they'll contact, but this seems to get good contact on them right away, so I was pleased about that. So put a different battery in there, the 18350, and now you can see that all batteries have now dropped in current. So now everything's down to 0.5. Since we now have 3 batteries in there. This one's at 43%, and of course it does give you the indicator down here, whether it's lithium ion or NIMH. I actually don't have an NIMH right here to charge. I do have a 14500, of course, being another lithium type battery. So if we put that in as well, now you've got all 4 bays going. Everybody's charging at 0.5, and they're all lithium ion. If this were an NIMH, then it would say NIMH in here. So that's pretty much the way the charger operates. When it gets to the end of the charge, obviously, it'll say 100%, and the final voltage it's one of these chargers that'll always show the nominal voltage, so when it finishes, it'll always show 4.20. It won't show anything else. If the actual ending charge is 4.17, it'll show 4.20. It'll never give you the actual voltage, the actual final voltage. It'll just give you the nominal voltage. And here, I'll just wait a second for all these, or for the display to black out. But, I mean, this is a pretty decent charger, although, there you can kind of see that display in there. But anyway, I mean, it's not a bad charger. The only thing I'm dubious about is that obviously with all chargers, they cannot continue as the battery reaches its final capacity. They can't keep up. Obviously, the charge drops. The current drops. So with some chargers, they'll show you that. This one won't. It's just going to show you the whole time that it's charging at 0.5, or that it's charging at 1, or that it's charging at 2. But if that starts to drop, which it will as it reaches about 4 volts, you know that's going to drop. But it's not going to show you that. It's going to stay showing that. It's going to stay showing that current, even though it's probably not charging at that current. But anyway, I mean, it's not a bad charger. It will do batteries pretty quickly, and with the 2A, you know, that is what it is. It's kind of nice, and you may not want to charge one battery at a time just so you can get 2A. So obviously, if you're going to use more batteries at any given time, then you're going to have a slower charge. But that's the Golisi, and you can pick it up on Amazon. I do have a link below where you can visit their product page on Amazon and pick one up. It's not a bad price. It is the S4, and that's it from Lights and Gear today. If you want to see more flashlights, batteries, and chargers, check out lightsandgear.com, and we'll see you next time with more. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you soon. All right, take it easy.